So there's an upcoming first-person survival shooter coming out, and it's looking pretty good. It's by a new indie developer, and it's called Road to Vostok. Let's get into it. So first things first, my name is Break. If you like what I'm throwing out there, then please give it a thumbs up or consider subscribing. It will help me out. So what is Road to Vostok? Road to Vostok is a rather impressive looking, very early game. It's made, believe it or not, by a single developer from Finland. Now, hopefully I don't screw this up, but the guy's called Antip, and he was a former army officer who decided to resign to make video games. Now that's already some commitment right there. Now, he's created a behind-the-scenes dev blog on his YouTube channel about this game, and it is very in-depth. I'm going to cover some of that very shortly. If you like it, this type of game, then I'll check that out for yourself and take a good look. Now, I'm going to disappear, and we'll have a look at some of this stuff together. Road to Vostok is a hardcore single-player survival game set in a post-apocalyptic border zone between Finland and Russia. Now, the dev has said that he is taking inspiration from some of his own personal favourite survival games, such as the ones you can see here. He's also stated he likes the high-risk, high-reward style gameplay, with certain highly rewarding zones but with a huge amount of risk. And this idea will be implemented into Road to Vostok in the form of 3 main zones. So it's already sounding a lot like Escape from Tarkov and DayZ. Now, the 3 main zones that he's talking about will be Area 5, Border Zone, and Vostok itself. Now, Area 5 will be a low-risk starter zone. So that's where you'll loot up, get some equipment, and then start making your way through to the Border Zone. Now, the Border Zone will be more of a transition zone, and Vostok will be the dangerous and mysterious high-risk zone itself. The Vostok high-risk zone will be mainly designed for endgame content. Now, inside each zone there will be separate maps, which Antip says will be based on real-world locations and will be connected to each other using transition areas. Each map will have a difficulty rating in terms of the NPC AI. So to cross through to the border to Vostok, there will be certain checkpoints to go through, each with its own game mechanic and level of risk. Now, that's an interesting way of doing things and will make us as a player rethink our strategy or our access points to go to, depending on our equipment and skills, and I'm kind of digging the way he's done that. Now, Antip has put in his dev blog a huge amount of information, and roadmap wise it's looking more realistic than most indie games we see, but more on that later. Let's see some gameplay, eh? So although it's very early days, there's a ton of footage here. So in this white box environment, if we look at the weapon mechanics, we've got leaning, etc, etc. But we've also got a system for inspecting your weapon. You can even see the attachments and the condition of the weapon. So I'm only assuming at this point that stoppages and misfires could occur if you don't keep on top of your gear. Talking of gear, we can see here a rough inventory system, not too dissimilar to games like DayZ or Tarkov, but also a rather in-depth health system. If we zoom in on this a bit, you'll see a whole bunch of crap that we will have to keep in check, so expect a lot of meds and I'm assuming a rather in-depth medical system to go with it. So in the dev blog, he has stated that his priorities for the game, and as you can see on the screen, he's got movement, shooting and looting, and enemy AI as the main foremost priority. This is probably the best move for a dev to make, is if these aren't done, these are the fundamental core aspects to any game like this, and if they aren't nailed, then you've already lost the chances of this game actually being a success. So as we move on to the visual style, we'll have a look a few minutes of gameplay here in its current state. Obviously there's a lot of work to go. and it is looking pretty damn crispy. But if I'm honest, I like playing games with people, so the fact that this is, in its current state, a single player game is a bit of a shame for me. However, he hasn't completely ruled anything out as far as I'm aware, and if Antip can develop a cooperative mode with maybe up to 4 players, that would be fantastic, but I assume the enemy AI would have to be cranked up and maybe reworked a bit for this. Now, the dev has stated that his goals are to create an atmospheric environment based on real-world locations with an authentic abandoned feeling based on the real-world locations. Now, his rules are that he must personally go to these locations to get the images and ideas, and for them not to be fabricated completely. Now, this is a huge undertaking, and one that I'm pretty sure he's completely set on doing. This can surely only be good for a game like this. If he is single-handedly going out and taking photographs of each location, then that's effort, and it's got to be good. His current roadmap for the game is actually rather realistic, and the dev has said that full release will be years down the line. However, there will be a public demo, as you can see here, later this year. This will have 1 map and 1 safe house, and as you can see, he's planning to up it for the next demo, and so on until it's released. So guys, let me know if this is your type of thing, and if you would give it a go. Remember to subscribe for early dev videos like this, and gameplay and more. I'm Break, have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one.